G'day, welcome back to another video. In this video I'll be doing the bodywork on this Tamiya XV-01 Lancia Delta Integrale. It's going to be fun with all those stickers. Anyway, I'll take you through and show you how I go about doing the stickers for this one. Now if you saw my last video where I waterproofed the receiver, I'll leave a link up the top there. That's basically where I left it after building the chassis. So we'll get into it now and check it out. As you can see here, I've got the receiver in and it's ready to go. And yeah, tidied up the wiring there, put the caps on the top. Now we can get onto the body. Alrighty, so they tell us to make some holes in the body, and these three here are for the antenna, depending where you want to put it. I'm going to leave the antenna in the car, so I'm not going to worry about that. And we've got our body mounts, which are kind of different for different chassis. So on the front we use the ones closest to the windscreen, and on the back we use the ones closest to the roof. And of course it's a good idea to test the body on first and make sure you are using the right mount holes. So yeah, we got the ones up the top there for the on the rear, and on the front we got the ones just in front of the windscreen there. So we make our holes using the little body reamer. And this body's pretty good. The wheel arches are already pre-cut. All we got to do is cut around the bottom, pretty much a straight line all the way around the bottom. And there's our scrap, very nice. So the body's all trimmed up. Pretty simple. Now I can mask the windows using the masks here after I cut them out. And there we go. We got some paint on there. Beautiful. So after making the holes in the body, it was time for a bit of a test bit. And I thought I'd push it down pretty low, just see how it looks when it's low. From there, I painted the mirrors, just using some semi-gloss black, and painted the grille. Then it was time for the fun part, trimming out the decals. And I just used a standard hobby knife for this, Tamiya one. Doesn't really matter what brand. And just get around, trim them all up real close. I find you can get a little bit closer with the knife than you can with the scissors, but sometimes I still use scissors. Now I don't cut right through, I just cut the top layer. And you'll see later on I actually do cut a few right off there and use them kind of like a template. So there's our first sticker sheet cut. Now time to get on to the second one. Yeah, it looks like fun. And it was fun. So anyway, they're both done now. Just take your time. There's no rush. So now we can get on to applying the stickers. Got our instructions there, so we know where they go. Got the wing, got to put a couple of stickers on that. So I've got a little cloth there for wiping up, and some soapy water, and a knife and some tweezers, and of course the trusty heat gun. Alrighty, so far I've got a grand total of 3 stickers on. There was a couple of people asking how I was going to go about doing it, and can I show you how I'm going to do it? I'll do that. Anyway, so I just use the heat gun and the water, and yeah, basically put the stickers in the water, put them on the side of the car, but I quite often splash it around a bit, get a lot of water on there, and yeah, start laying down the stickers. Like this one here, for example, I started at the top, and you know, kind of push the bubbles out that way, and yeah, then come down the side. I normally heat this part up here on the ridge, and yeah, flatten it out down the side. Same with these, they're not perfect. There is a couple of little creases here, very small ones. Just didn't take me time, that's all it was. I kind of rushed into it. I could have peeled them up and do it again, but kind of the more you heat it up, the more you peel it, you start stretching decals, and yeah, it's really not worth going after it, you know what I mean? You end up ruining the whole decal. So yeah, I heat it up and run my fingernail in those vent holes there, and basically push the sticker in. And same on the edge of the windows, you know, you can, with a bit of heat, you can bend them over the edges and rub it down. Then yeah, go and trim the edge of the sticker there with the where the bumper is, because it doesn't go over the bumper, and trim around the wheel arch there. So we'll have a look at that now. So now working on the other side of the car, we've got this sticker on here, you can see. And we've got a couple of little bubbles down the bottom. So using the back of the tweezers, I just kind of push the bubbles out. You just got to make sure your tweezers don't have any sharp bits on them. You can use a cotton tip or something. And in the vents on the side there, I just run my fingernail through them, just to push them in. Squeeze any water out. And air, of course. So that's looking pretty smooth. Same thing on the other side. Now I've got this bit around the wheel arch here. So you just want to make sure, go around the edge and make sure there's no bubbles and stuff right on the edge. And yeah, then you can run your finger in any body lines there, like that one, above the bumper. Just to make sure it's all pushed in. Then just grab your knife and slice the edge of the sticker off. And I kind of use a downward stroke for each stroke on this. I just find it seems to cut smoother without wrinkling up the edge of the sticker. Then just go around the edge and make sure it's all pushed down properly. There's no daggy bits hanging off. Now we'll get onto this bit around the bumper. So just get the knife and gently slice through it without going through the body. There's a bit of a slip there. Ah well. And then just this one's stuck pretty well, so pick it off with your fingers. But yeah, you can either lift them up with a knife or just pick them up with your tweezers if you can, and yeah, just rip the edge off. Then you should have a nice smooth line. Same thing on the other side. Just run the knife around the edge. And then just lift it up and peel it off. So maybe I didn't put this sticker up high enough, I'm not really sure. But yeah, quite often I find I need to trim them. It's all good. Push the edges down if they've started to lift. Alrighty, so I'll get this other sticker on down the side here, same as that one. And yeah, then I'll show you using the heat gun and the water, do the whole process on the front guards, and yeah, see how they turn out. Alrighty, so there's our two stickers on the left side, looking pretty good. And same thing on the right. And I went ahead and did two stickers on the front of it just to make sure I knew what I was doing. They came up alright. So anyway, we'll get into the other side and I'll show you how to do it. Now because these ones were looking kind of tricky, I actually went and cut right through them so I can use them as a template. Where normally I'd just leave the decals on the sheet and just peel them off. Alrighty, so we've got our stickers both torn off the sheet, ready to go. And yeah, I'll just try and line it up just so I know exactly where it's going to go before I peel it off and stick it. And you want it to run around the edge of the bonnet line there, at the back of the bonnet, or the hood, whatever you like to call it. So once I'm pretty happy with where they're going to go, you can go and, you know, peel them off the sheet. Make sure it's the same as the other side, of course. So we peel it off, dunk him in the soapy water over there. That's just water with a few drops of dishwashing liquid. So then I just, I like to paddle around to make sure there's a good load of water on there. And as you can see, slips around without sticking. That's what we want. So I just kind of line it up with the body line at the back of the bonnet there, and trying to get it stuck down at the top, like on the top of the bonnet, and work on the sides later. Pushing all the air bubbles and water out, of course. And sometimes you might need to lift it a bit to, you know, do some adjustments. That's where the water's handy, it doesn't stick hard straight away. So then to get some more flex in it, you can use the heat gun on a very low setting. Just turn him on and yeah, heat it all up. Make sure all the bubbles are pushed out. Basically, you don't want it too hot where you're kind of burning your fingers. If you're burning your fingers, you're probably going to burn the decal. Or it'll just become too soft and start to stretch and have weird wrinkles and stuff in it. You don't want that. So yeah, I'll just keep the heat gun running and just kind of point it away when I don't need it. And this decal I wasn't happy with, so I pulled it up and started again. There we go, push out all the bubbles. Just want to make sure that the ridge on the bonnet doesn't get air and water trapped under it. It'll bubble up in no time. And now the top's all done, we can start working on the side. And that's where the heat gun comes in really handy. Help it bend over the side. Then you just keep massaging the bubbles out, make sure there's none left. There's a little bit of a dip there around the front of the windscreen, so push it into that. And there we go, there's one sticker. Now we can get on the one that goes over the flare on the guard. So same thing, have a look, see where you're going to put it first. And we don't want to go right at the edge of this one, we want to sort of overlap a little bit. So we can peel that one off and let him go for a swim in the water. Paint a bit of water on there, get it nice and wet. A lot of people use a squirty bottle, but I don't bother, I just use a bowl. So much the same as the top one. Just line it up where you need to put it and yeah, start pushing the bubbles out. So just going back and forward, pushing bubbles out, heating it up, pushing bubbles out. I'll speed this up to 4 times the speed because the video is just going to be far too long if I do it in real time. So yeah, you've got to be patient, take your time with it. There's going to be a lot of time in there. So when you get the top part of this sticker down and you're all happy with it, it's joined up nicely with the top sticker, you can go on and start heating it up and bend it over the guard there. And of course here I just pull it down over the edge and smooth the bubbles out towards the edge. Making sure there's no wrinkles or anything, of course. If you got to lift it up again, you got to lift it up again. So this one's a little bit different. I won't cut this sticker on the edge, I'll actually fold it under. You can do it either way, it depends how much sticker you got left overhanging and how confident you are that it's going to stick to the inside. I may end up trimming this later, but it doesn't look like peeling up yet. So just make sure all your edges are nice there, no bubbles or anything. And check your body lines, make sure the decals are all pushed into it. That edge is looking pretty good to me. And underneath it's sticking pretty well, so I'm just going to leave it, I'm not going to bother trimming it. Now having a look at the front there, the stickers at the front are a little bit out of line. Now they're not supposed to go right to the end of the bonnet, they're back a bit from the end of the bonnet, but you just want to make sure they're straight. So I just run the knife around the edge and straighten them up. Peel off any overhanging bits. So just lift the edges up with your knife and pull them off with tweezers or your fingers. So that's about it. That's the process for using water and, well, soapy water and the heat gun for putting decals on, or stickers, whatever you like to call them. So just go around, make sure your edges are all stuck down nicely. Now I can get onto the other stickers. And there's a bit of progress happening right there. So now I'll put the rest of the stickers on and we can check out the finished product. So that's it, it's all finished. Pretty happy with it. Those stickers were a right pain in the butt, and there's a lot of them. But yeah, I think it came out alright. The hardest ones I think were probably the little red ones around the grill there. You got to get them into a little groove, and also these, I can't see what I'm doing here, these ones inside here. They're just like 3 long stickers. I actually cut them all separate and put all the pieces into the hole separately. Don't know whether it's any better or any worse, but yeah. So that's him. I think it looks pretty good. So yeah. Now I do have a couple of bits of white paint here I need to clean where it leaked under the masking. I'll do that later because I have more plans for this one. It's not finished yet. Got the cockpit set. So that's got the little driver guy and stuff, or 2 drivers in there. And yeah, so we're gonna, in the next video or in a couple of videos down the track, whatever, yeah, I'll fit that up and maybe even make a roll cage for it so it looks a little bit more realistic. And yeah, get it all painted up, fit it in, and then we'll get it out for a drive. So yeah, should be pretty good. So at the end of the video I'll bring the camera in, we'll have a bit of a look around, bit of a montage, and check it out up close. Alrighty, that's it for this video. If you like the video, give it a thumb up, that'd be great. If you're new here, subscribe, that'd be awesome, and catch you later.